It's 6:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Police believe alcohol may have been a factor in a horror crash at Cooranbong on Friday night, which claimed the lives of two men. A 35-year-old man's car crossed the wrong side of Freeman's Drive into the path of a car driven by a 56-year-old man, the crash killing both drivers instantly. 12 people have now died on the road in the past 15 years. Meanwhile, 3 people aged in their 60s were seriously injured following a head-on crash on the New England Highway at Wingen. A sedan and a four-wheel drive towing a caravan collided about 1 kilometre north of the township just before 2 yesterday afternoon. The 68-year-old sedan driver has undergone surgery for serious injuries in the John Hunter Hospital. Sergeant Dave Rose says the male driver and woman passenger in the four-wheel drive had to be freed from the wreckage.
The woman sustained broken arms and legs while the man suffered minor injuries. They were both released from the wreckage by fire and rescue personnel and airlifted by the Westpac helicopter also to the John Hunter Hospital. Now, specialist investigators from the Crash Investigation Unit have attended and they're conducting an examination of the scene.
Lake Macquarie has been named as having one of the highest rates of whooping cough in the state. There have been 90 cases of the potentially deadly infection so far this year, the 4th highest number in New South Wales and the worst outside of Sydney. Meanwhile, Health Department figures also show there's been a reported case of the highly contagious bacterial disease diphtheria in Port Stephens. Paterson MP Bob Baldwin has hit back amid claims the Hunter's GP after-hours access service is set to close next month following budget cuts. While Shadow Minister for the Hunter Jody Harrison is leading efforts to secure funding for the health service, Bob Baldwin is saying there's nothing to worry about. He says a new service operator will be introduced to replace the GP access after-hours clinics.
GP access is not closing down because of a lack of fund. It is being moved to the group that won the tender, which is Hunter New England Primary Healthcare. They will be providing services from the 1st of July.
The possibility of deadly black water in the Hunter River has been ruled out. Water experts have been monitoring the river since last month's storms with fears a massive fish kill, similar to the one which occurred as a result of the 2013 floods, might have been on the cards. Dr. Peter Scaines from the Office of Environment and Heritage says oxygen levels greatly impact water quality.
What happens after a flood is that the water that sits on the paddocks and the floodplains kills the vegetation. As that rots, it takes all the oxygen out of the water. When that water runs back into the river, if it's a large proportion of the river's water, then we've got no oxygen in the water in the river.
And more than $1 million is being spent to boost tourism in the Hunter in the wake of last month's deadly storms. The money will be used to create new marketing campaigns and promoting existing ones in a bid to attract more visitors to the region. The Tourism Minister says it's about telling tourists the Hunter is open for business. Now with sport, Jonathan Momsen.
The Knights have ended a 5-game losing streak with a win over the West Tigers on Sunday. The 22 points to 12 win sees the Knights tied for 5th place on the premiership ladder, but still sit just outside the 8 based on for and against. The Knights went into half-time with a 6-point lead, but were able to hold the West Tigers to just 2 tries for the entire match. Newcastle coach Rick Stone says the team was striving for the win with the 15,000-strong home crowd in mind.
We just needed to win in some fashion. We just needed to win, and we need to show our fans that we're desperate and we're willing to fight for everything to get 2 points today.
In local rugby league, Lakes United remain undefeated with a 30-16 win over Central Newcastle. In other games, Cessnock defeated South 32-6, Curry beat Maitland 40-24, and West won 15-8 over Macquarie. To ice hockey, and the Newcastle North Stars went down 3-2 to Perth Thunder before bouncing back on Sunday to thrash the Sydney Bears 8-3. The loss to Perth was Newcastle second on the ladder, just 2 points behind the undefeated Thunder. That's sport. I'm Jonathan Momsen.
2NURFM News Time 26 to 7.